literally heard every single person in Fairmont Crest talking about Anita Dupree having breast cancer this week. And that's the big thing, is someone as larger than life as Anita Dupree. You can see Shanice at work, daydreaming about that New Year's Eve kiss. Anytime she sees Ted, you know, she's perking up. If I wasn't adopted by this family, the people that go to these events would have been looking down on me and my mom, and you know, because they would have probably been living under the bridge with her. I always wanted Nicole to just put Ted in her roster.
Not put your ex-husband in your roster. She had that saying like we all do, and sometimes like, okay, God won't give you more than you can handle. Apparently he thinks I can handle a lot, or he knows I can handle a lot.
Right. Hey y'all, welcome back to Loving Them Gates, a Beyond the Gates weekly podcast where Brian H. Butters and Queen P.R. dissects the latest episodes of the new hit show Beyond the Gates. We'll break down all the plot twists, character arcs, and iconic moments with our unique perspectives and a whole lot of love.
Is this our first episode of 2026? No,
we did one last week.
Okay.
But this is the first episode of your new year. So
Yay!
I'm going to go out and jump the gun and say happy birthday.
Thank you.
So y'all join me up to say happy birthday to Queen P.R.
Appreciate it.
You know, it's the January 11th as we're recording this. Yes. It's a great day. She's so dedicated. Love the show so much and love you guys so much. She recording.
I am recording.
For me, it's for y'all.
Welcome back to Loving Them Gates.
You go with that back shit.
I'm just telling people welcome back to the show.
I'm on 100. Let's get it.
I didn't say,
we're back.
Wow.
I did that last week as an homage to you on one of my shows.
Oh, you
and
did?
I gave you a wink, but you didn't even pay attention.
Oh, sorry about that. Well, we are back.
We striking out like Carlton.
Carlton is doing well right now, I would say.
Maybe the other dude.
Which Kyle?
Oh, yeah.
He's old news.
Yeah.
He is old news. All right, so I want to kind of get the serious stuff out the way first.
I figured we was going that direction.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't think I'm the only one, because I've been seeing gatekeepers online. You know, the breast cancer storyline. While I am glad that we're being educated on what Black women go through when it comes to the BRCA gene and getting tested, and it's been very informative, but at the same time it's been really serious. This past week was very much like I call them conversation episodes, where they are needed to kind of keep the storylines moving and characters engaging with each other. But this was a strong conversation week. And I felt like every episode was them talking about either getting tested, what it means to be tested, people pressing other people on why they don't seem upset and why they don't seem depressed. What are you gonna do if it's positive? Why aren't you getting tested? It was like a whole thing. But we did get somewhere. We did get some test results. So let's start with the Duprees.
Let's talk about it.
Anita, you know, she knows she has to get chemo and all of this kind of stuff. So she's processing and she's trying to keep a brave face on, which I really appreciated. And Tracy, one of her articulate sisters, comes over and was very aggressive with her, basically trying to bring her down. Anita's like, hey, want some coffee? Let's chit chat. You know, let's basically talk about anything besides cancer. Right. And she's just like, you should be depressed. You should be sad. Why are you so happy? And it's just like, I don't know. I just felt very much are you trying to depress me? She finally gets the reaction that she wants out of Anita and claims this is what I wanted. I wanted to see this person actually dealing with it. And I don't know how I felt about that approach. How about you?
I am one who believes that people should get their emotions out. You know, when you and I will talk about real life stuff amongst ourselves, maybe something we're going through, or, you know, news alert, no relationship is perfect, you know, which is never has any opportunities for better communication. I'm one who likes to get that emotion out. I don't like holding it in. So I understood where Tracy was going, but I was also annoyed by it at the same time, if that makes sense. I wanted Anita to have that moment that she had. I'm so happy that she got it out of her system, you know, because it is real life and you can only be strong. It goes back to check on your strongest friend. When you think of Anita Dupree, you think of, and you look, first of all, you look at what's going on around her, right? Oldest daughter, get blindsided in a marriage after 20 plus years. Youngest daughter, been cheating on constantly, and then he finally leaves, right? Mm-hmm. One granddaughter gets kidnapped. Another granddaughter was like possibly dealing with a pregnancy that she wasn't sure she knows she didn't want, but maybe it was costing her marriage. And then another granddaughter had her half-sister come into her life and wreck shit and sleep with her man. So she's always had to be grandma. You know, that grandmother who had to be strong for everybody. So I say it always goes back to check on your strongest friend. Mm-hmm. And that's what we always, like, we talk about it, but Anita Dupree is so regal.
Right.
She's so strong.
And that's, I think, because we heard every single person in Fairmont Crest talking about Anita Dupree having breast cancer this week. And that's the big thing, is someone as larger than life as Anita Dupree. And, you know, I kind of make sense of it in my head as like her being Diana Ross, which I've mentioned in the past. So just thinking like someone as big as that, like, wow, like she's gonna be taken down, like she has cancer, you know, like that is hard to kind of wrap your head around. And I get that Anita did at some point need to address it, but like, don't force me. Like, if you come to my house and I'm sick and I'm in good spirits, like, let that be. Like, let it naturally happen. Don't tear it. Like, she was just going in. And I remember that we're watching the episode and I'm like, damn, girl, like, calm it down. Like, what do you want from me? But she did have her moment.
Like, cry.
Which was great. And the entire time they're arguing about the situation or talking about the situation, I'm like, kick this girl out. I was like, kick this bitch out your house. Kick her out your, like, why are you here? Okay, you don't like how I'm dealing with this? Goodbye. But they came to a common ground. So we're talking about Anita addressing things head on and everything that she's going through. So I want to talk a little bit about Kat. Because she was definitely not trying to, you know, confront the situation head on. She was just like, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to hear the C word anymore. I don't want to hear about no damn testing. And I felt her with that situation. Like, she wanted to get as far away as possible. And this was also surprising too, because you get to get to know people in times of crisis. I never thought Chelsea, out of the two of them, Chelsea would be the one kind of feeling like she needed to bring Kat back down to earth. Like, this is serious, you know, like, you need to do all of this. And you would think Chelsea would be the one that has more of an escapism kind of solution to it. I don't know. It just was weird seeing Chelsea being the one that was like, you know.
I think we've been seeing Chelsea be more the voice of reason ever since she got kidnapped. I feel like something happened in that cabin, and so I do think she, you know, because I feel like Chelsea was like so protected. Like, you know, I don't know who's older between her and Kat, but it always felt like Chelsea's the youngest of that generation.
Right.
But I do feel like in this situation, she was like, okay, you know. After that, she's always been like, okay, how do I think family, lean on family and everything. So. Right. It made sense, but I also understood where Kat was coming from. You know, I tweeted and somebody took it the wrong way, but I was like, it's on brand for Kat. And it was no disrespect, but what I mean is, of course Kat was saying, no, I'm not dealing with it. I don't want that anxiety following.
Right. And I felt that with her as well, where Kat is already wound too tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's already very like about everything. So just like imagine adding on like just knowing that you have this gene. Like, and again, I would wait till my mom got tested, which is probably what they're doing, and then let me worry about it then. You know what I'm saying? Like that next generation has it a little bit easier than like Nicole and Dani.
Everybody was pressing as soon as it happened, instead of saying, okay, let's take baby steps. And it's understandable, because it's like, okay, again, the matriarch, the backbone of the family says this could happen, you know. So it's like, okay, how do we deal with this? You know what I mean? Right. So I got it. I'm glad that they were able to figure that out. Right. You know what I mean? And but yeah, I definitely understand where Kat was coming from. I just wish she was heard, honestly. Like, I don't think nobody was really listening to her. They, you know,
you saying Kat is being misunderstood and
for a change, you know. I think that the only person who really listened to her was Tomas.
Yeah.
Like, he's on -8, but he went to like -4.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely like a lending ear, and Kat wanted to be away from the family, which again, totally understandable. So Anita, before her chemo, she wants to throw this big like New Orleans style like last meal
Easy, baby,
with all of the family, which I thought was really, really cute, and also another nod to Black culture too, because New Orleans is very rich in culture and traditions, and they were able to put a lot of that on display at that episode. And the family got together. It was a big surprise, and it was a way to be like, okay, you know what, life is about to be so different. And Anita saying this, like, once I start chemo, everything is going to be so different. I'm not gonna be able to eat the same. I'm not gonna feel normal. I just want one night with all my family where we're just laughing and dancing and eating and just having a good time. I was really hoping that Kat answered the family's call and was there, because especially once they took that group photo, and as someone that has a big family, we don't get together as often as the Duprees probably do, and I always would have engagements, like whether I was working nights and weekends or I was traveling, and there are family moments I miss. And then once you see those group photos, that's when it really hurts, that FOMO. Even if you had a valid reason not to be there, is when you're like, damn, because those are the memories that you look back on when when as time goes on. And I remember them taking that group picture like, damn, I really wish Kat was there, but at the same time understanding why she kind of wanted to be alone with Tomas, away from it all. And she did regret it, like we said she would.
Yeah, she did. It's one of those things you kind of wish that they would have reached out to Tomas. Maybe.
But I mean, you have Chelsea and both of your parents and everyone calling you, and it's just like, all right, at that point, it's like, girl, she ain't coming.
Now, if it was a situation in reverse, my sister reaching out to you, hey, can you get through to him?
Yes, but as someone as strong-minded as Kat, once she said she wasn't going, she wasn't going.
But remember, she didn't answer the phone. That's the thing. If she would have answered the phone, I think she would have went, because then she would have knew what it was.
I don't know.
She ignored the phone.
She admitted later she thought that when the family was calling her, they were all trying to ambush her to get tested.
Right, of course.
That's why she didn't go. And I feel like it probably would have been the same thing.
Even if she heard the message.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. Because at that time, she's just like, leave me alone.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Just leave me alone.
That's true. But I'm glad you're right. I do like the fact that, because this whole story is for raising awareness. So the thing I loved about that was the fact that they said, hey, we're going to do this, and this is how you get ready for a life change. Right. Live it up. Even if you got to just like have get together, make some memories. So I do like that part.
I do too. And just, how everyone's dealing with it differently. Like Naomi, she wasn't necessarily dwelling about it, but I felt like she had a healthy approach. Like she was doing research online about it. She was having conversations about the gene and what it would mean for her family. She was there for the members of her family, but she also was like keeping her head above water too. Like, this isn't, I'm not going to let it, let's wait for the information. Yeah. And then we'll take it from there.
She's the oldest granddaughter. So, that's on brand.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. But then you have, the support system. Like Naomi was able to talk to Ashley, because Ashley didn't realize she's at work and she's hearing about these tests, and she's like, oh my God, my best friend's been going through this. I had no idea. So then she was able to, talk to Ashley about it. And that's when you really see like who your real friends are, like who's going to be there for you. Like you see Vanessa, comforting Nicole and Dani, and having separate conversations with them, and just being like, yo, I am here for you, like no matter what, just let me know. And then she goes to Joey, because all of this is very upsetting, because it's life or death, and it's very upsetting for her. And she goes and she runs into Joey's arms, and we thought that conversation was funny between them.
Yo, the way that Joey was just on some like, in the Duprees, we don't really see eye to eye, so tough. And I was just like, bro, she's talking about life and death. She's coming to him, essentially. What's sad is that was supposed to be Doug. She was supposed to be leaning into Doug. Doug would have been able to use his medical expertise. I know he was a surgeon, but he would have been able to use his colleagues and connects. Mm-hmm. And now
he at least cares about the Duprees. Like Joey really was like, I'm sorry about your friends. Like
I'm sorry, but they got to figure it out.
Yeah, like I wish them the best of luck, but he don't give a fuck about them Duprees.
Exactly,
he really don't. He literally was like, oh, I'm sorry your friends are going through that, but anyway.
And that's just going to make it interesting how this all plays out, because it's like, okay, Joey, so how are you going to act with the Duprees? How are you going to act? Or is he going to be a huge opportunist? You know, like, well, you know, I got some connects, but you got to pay me, you know, so.
I don't even think he wants anything to do to help the Duprees. Yeah, like, I really think he's just like, I'll be here for you, Vanessa.
That's true.
But, like, I'm sorry they're going. Like, he did the Kanye shrug. Like, okay, sorry, that sucks for them. But those are his ops. I mean, I completely get it. Like, you know, he's there for his woman, and that's it. Speaking of Joey, so he decides to, and I was very surprised by this, and this is how more and more proof that he does love Vanessa. And it's interesting because we were talking earlier, and I still am when it comes to Haley, for example. Like I didn't think she was like a gold. Like I thought she loved Bill. Kind of find out she actually was like not that person.
Right.
And me thinking Joey didn't really like love. I didn't think Joey was capable of the love that he has for Vanessa. So that's like a nice change of pace. But Vanessa wants him to help Leslie with the free clinic. She's just like, you know, it could be good for your image. And it is a nice cause. Like, it's a good cause. I think that's what's getting everyone. And he actually was like, I'll do it. He calls Leslie over and they have some meetings and they're going to go into business together. Are you surprised?
A little bit. And I think that's what's going to be so interesting. But also, this is going to give him more leverage, whatever ties he has over Marcel. So seeing
Marcel,
all of this is going to intertwine together. Leslie's sleeping with Marcel, and you know, obviously we know now Marcel's like married to a woman, not his boat. And and then watching her, you know, because I don't know, Leslie obviously she did something because Ted went back. Maybe he didn't want to, but he kept going back. You know, what did he say? Like she listens. So now
she's funny. Like she's a vibe.
Dare I say she's a catch?
Of course.
You take out the crazy.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, like right now she's crazy because she wants Ted. That's why we saw the crazy side of her. But if we take that out, we don't know. Like there's a different Leslie uncovered. Think about it. All we know is getting back at Ted. That's why she had all the incidents.
She's clearly crazy.
Oh, no, she's crazy.
That Ted was just...
But the reasons we seen her crazy is because of Ted getting Laura hit so Eva can get a job and all that. So now I want to see how does she go through with this Marcel situation and Joey Armstrong. So this is what's going to be. This is what I'm going to get to.
And also Randy finding out about Leslie and Marcel, watching them, like seeing them kiss and stuff like that. So there's going to be something there. Something
I
there
saw
too.
him kissing her on the tree.
I think one of the funniest things, and we have to mention this, one of the funniest parts of Joey and Leslie going into this venture together is Leslie assuming that Joey wanted her as well, and that whole exchange. And I just love Joey entertaining Leslie. Like he just let her just talk her nonsense.
Yep.
And he was like, yeah, I don't really need, what he said, I didn't really need a tug or something from you. Like, girl, no, I'm good. But what I do need is this. And I just thought that was so funny because I think Joey is also genuinely entertained by Leslie. Like,
how could you not
crazy.
Be? You know, it's like he be needing stuff to do.
Yeah.
So that's why he be in that casino room messing with people. So I think, you know, this is gonna be funny.
Okay, so how about him saying that he wants to name the free clinic after Doug? Like, even Leslie was like, really? But he loved that woman. That goes to show you. What?
That was messed up.
What you mean?
Like, come on. Like, we all know you got Doug killed, allegedly.
All right. But from Vanessa's perspective, that's a very nice thing to do.
Nah, bro. Just keep that man's name out your mouth. That's how I feel about it.
But he's trying to keep his woman happy.
That's true. That is true. But still, like, That's a Joey Armstrong thing to do.
Right.
All the action, like everything is in your face and you don't even see it. And then when it blows up, she go like, "Wait, he wanted to name the clinic, and he's the one who had him killed."
And you know Leslie, because she's crazy. No, like she's like, nigga, you killed him. Like just like you know what I'm saying. Like she even was like, "Do you feel guilty about it?"
I really hope. I know this is a stretch. We talked about it here. I hope Doug ain't dead.
Me too. I would love if he comes back to life, like
coming back
again,
from the
a
dirt.
gatekeeper.
Maybe he with the daughter.
The mysterious daughter.
Yeah, maybe they hanging out together. Maybe she know.
We'll see. Because I mean, you know how Vanessa.
Who else would keep?
Vanessa is a horrible mother.
Who else would keep the secret? Nobody would protect a dad's secret like daddy's daughter.
That's true. That is extremely true. So Marcel, you know, he sees all of this. He knows what's up. Like he's just like, this is gonna get mixy. And he even tells Leslie, like, be careful. Like you are going into.
Everybody always say that. Be careful with Joey Armstrong.
And I love that Leslie was like, he needs to be careful with me. And I would say, yo, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. She said, yo, I got that thing on me too. Like we could do this. So just even Leslie entering the underworld.
If you ever met a confident black woman who know she can rip somebody's eyes out and their heart apart, that was Leslie.
Yeah.
That moment right there was like, he need to be careful with
Hell
me.
yeah.
Like,
She said, "Oh, bring it." Leslie wants to smoke.
Yeah,
like she wants to smoke always. Like nothing is gonna stop that. But you know who's gonna have some smoke soon though?
Let's talk about it.
Is her and Shanice.
Woo!
Because when I tell you so. Let's get into Ted and Shanice and So they definitely, you know, have crossed that line of like we're gonna be more than friends. And I love because I think every woman and I guess guy too has been there, like with a guy that you're interested in and it's like you kiss them for the first time or y'all have like those intimate moments like that are like kind of short but like really meaningful and then you guys are trying to like figure it out and then that's all you can think about like Brooklyn. You know when your mind rests and like that just pops into your mind and you're just like back in that moment and you can see Shanice at work daydreaming about that New Year's Eve kiss. Anytime she sees Ted, you know, she's perking up and you know and everyone has been there. To say that their situation is gonna get complicated is, you know, that's goes without saying. But Ashley peeps and you know me, I like one of my pet peeves is like being nosy and like because I'm very private, like, you know, don't ask me about my fucking business at work and shit like that. So usually Ashley would have annoyed me the way she was like pressing Shanice about Ted and everything like that, but Ashley had to get her lick back because Shanice was all up in her business. She was with Andre, with Derek, interjected herself into it, made calls for Ashley. Like, girl, what? So I love that Ashley was like, no. Now you in the hot seat. We gonna find out about your fucking business now. And she wanted the tea.
Yeah, buddy. Man, I loved everything about the whole thing. You know, because when you think about Ted, Shanice, it's like we finally see a softer side of Shanice. We always were seeing the person who clapped back at Leslie, who would, you know, kind of, she put Ashley in her place, to be honest, like, keep that shit out of here. And if I want, she basically told her at one point, if I wanted to take him, I could, but he clearly wants you. We seen all that, but now we seeing the softer side. We seeing the side where she's like, oh, and she can't stop thinking about Ted. Now, what's also interesting too, is watching when she was engaging with Nicole and Dani, because it's just like we know some, and we've all been there where you know somebody is interested in somebody's ex, but that person, the person don't know that the ex and that other person got something going on, and you're the third eye in the room, and you're just like, You just don't know. Wait till you find out. That was the vibe, and I was like, I can't wait, because this is going to get interesting, because Shanice has to fight off. She's going to have to fight off Leslie, obviously. But that's going to make Nicole be like, oh, but he used to do that for me, and he used to do this
I always wanted Nicole to just put Ted in her roster.
You cannot put your ex-husband in your roster. You can.
If there is a question of reconciliation and you're also dating other people, yes,
roster,
it happens.
It doesn't go on a roster. What it is,
you cannot say what a woman's roster is. Only I can.
They will be on the sideline. But like we watched Being Mary Jane. And you remember when Joe Scott came on that episode? And with the brother, and he was like, oh, you think because your baby mother, you can get it. And the fact is, you're right, you can. And I was just like, but see, that's different. Like, they still living their lives. The way I think roster of my interpretation, I don't see Leslie and Ted and Nicole going on dates and stuff, or even hanging out. I can see maybe, okay, they talk about the kids, boom, they get it in. They all right, this is what it is. But he better not do that to Shanice.
Wait, so are you saying that Nicole is gonna see the whole Leslie, Shanice, Ted love triangle maybe playing out and start missing Ted? Is that what you were saying?
She's going to see Ted and Shanice. That's all it's going to take. Leslie, no, because she's
going to want Ted back.
She's going to start thinking about it. And then she's going to make a push more, or she might, plant a big kiss on Carlton in front of everybody. It's going to get messy. It's going to get messy.
So I do want to see Ted and Shanice have like an actual relationship. Like, as much as I'm talking shit about, Nicole's roster and stuff like that, if Ted and Shanice actually like go for it, like I want them to have like a legit relationship. Like I want that for Shanice, and I want to see Ted like, I don't know. I just want to gain some respect for Ted, and I'm like, maybe if he doesn't fumble Shanice, because he already with that fucking damn bird feeder, if he doesn't fumble Shanice. I
told y'all he wasn't gonna recover. Maybe, from that. And when I mean recover, she wasn't gonna eventually like it.
Everyone said, "Oh, it's romantic." No, it's not. No, it's not. I have a boyfriend. He's very romantic, and that shit was not romantic. I do. He's so cute too. Oh, yeah.
Is he coming on the show?
He's already on the show, but that's not, I'm sorry, that is just like not romantic whatsoever. But Leslie is sensing more of it. But it's like, girl, you got Marcel. Why are you worried about what Ted is doing? Teddy Weddy. Also, Joey saying you're Ted. And I just, again, I love how just entertained Joey is by Leslie. He's just like, what a fucking trip, yo.
No, facts. But I also think like with Leslie, Ted did something, obviously. They got the evil connection, obviously.
Right. So I think that's the.
But he was, I always said, he didn't give her bullshit dick. He gave her good dick. And that was the problem.
Maybe he's not capable of giving bullshit dick.
That's probably a thing. So, because he's such a good guy.
Right.
It was probably weird for him to call on Bill to tell him to get rid of the baby. Like, hey, make this disappear. It was probably hard for him, honestly. Because he felt like, he doesn't seem like somebody who would sleep around. He seems like he has to build that emotional connection. Hence Shanice.
Right.
So he better not fumble that.
Yeah. He better not fumble Shanice.
Hey, gatekeepers, real quick, I want to invite you to catch us on social media. Simply go on our Instagram at 6 Heart Media, where we drop clips of the show, as well as the other things we participate in. And make sure you participate in the conversations on our Facebook page. Just go to Love in Them Gates, hit the like button.
So Ashley is gonna be getting spicy next week for sure. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we hear from Ashley's mom, who went on a cruise for the holidays by herself, and she found love on that cruise. And Ashley's just like, I cannot talk about this right now because Ashley's love life is in shambles. But I sensed a little bit, not jealousy, but more just like, while my mom is connecting with a man and like I'm not, and then we see the coming attractions of like Ashley talking about tying a fucking cherry stem with his mouth in her apartment. Do you think her disappointment with what's going on in her love life and seeing Andre happy with his wife and then finding out her mom is getting laid, do you think that is pushing her towards like, I need to get out there more?
Absolutely. And it goes to, you talk about somebody who needs a roster. she need a roster, because I feel like Ashley probably, tried to do everything by the book, or what is expected of her as a woman from society, instead of just living her life the way it's fallen and as it see it fit. And so what did she do? She go with the safe guy, the Derek or paper. And then when she wanted to go to the wild side, by the time she was ready,
scared. She wasn't ready.
She wasn't ready. And then
she was running from it.
This dude decides to be all super, go from being playboy to being a husband. It's like, wait, what you were supposed to be my fun piece, So I think now she's going to find somebody else, and I'm glad, because I know there's a lot of people to talk about Jen Jacob, right? I think she's a great actress, because she has been throughout the year made me interested personally in this Ashley character.
Yeah,
right? I've been irritated the way that she would like fall for Andre, but then I would be kind of rooting for her and Derek, but then I'm like, nah, you deserve better. She's made me figure out ways to like really engage with this character, and I've been appreciating Ashley's relationship with Naomi. So I think, and it's realistic for, couple friends to be the married friends, and then the other friends break up. So it's been so much realistic stories around Ashley, Derek, Andre. So I'm excited to see her character move forward.
Me too. And it's not easy. Like, I think she plays a whole like, oh, I'm such a like plain Jane nurse, but then I have a wild, like, she plays those nuances in her character very well. And I said the same thing about Eva, the actress that plays Eva. She's very like, the range that she's able to play is really good.
I'm excited for them to get some awards in 2026.
Yeah, me too. Let's put that out there.
But yeah, I'm excited for the Gates.
Yeah, let's put that out there, because they're killing it.
And we'll be there.
Yes, we will. Let's talk about Nicole for a second, because this is a busy week for her. Waiting for those test results. But she's also kind of coming to her own a bit more. Also, like, in the midst of all of that, like, she told Martin and Smitty she's dating Carlton.
Yeah.
So that means that they are officially dating. Unlike, I know some people were not rooting for them like I was. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that she has that support system at work, like Mona and Laura and stuff like that. Like, I'm very private. I would literally be trying to avoid that conversation. So if I walked into work and everybody was like, cancer, I would be like, oh my gosh, shoot me in the face. But it was actually really sweet what they did. Everybody loves the Dupree, so they're gonna do what they could do. And then she's also leaning on Carlton.
I do love the fact that, she's able to lean on. I felt so bad for her that night she found out, because Dani was able to fall into Andre's arms.
Carlton wasn't there.
And Carlton wasn't there.
He wasn't able to see her looking so beautiful in that beautiful gold dress.
Yeah.
Because we thought she was crying like that at like New Year's, but she everyone went over to the Duprees to find out the news.
So I felt bad for her, but I do like the fact that she was able to tell her sons, which was very interesting. Martin got on my nerves. Martin got on my nerves right there.
Really?
Yeah.
How so? Like,
I get you always gonna be protective of your mother. I've never been in that situation where it's like my mom telling me she's dating someone else. But, I know he was angry at his dad, rightfully so. But it was like, bruh, like, again, what we said at the beginning of the show. Oh, cancer, we gotta stop everything. Like, bruh, like, oh, is he gonna beat it? Like, no, she needs this, because at the end of the day, you go to bed with Smitty every night. Her mother goes to bed with her father. Her sister goes to bed with her husband. She goes to bed at night by herself. And that's not a fun position to be in. It's not fun to be at the family events and you by yourself and everybody's there. You want to be like, I'm going to go, so as much as I didn't like the Carlton, what he did, I have to let it go because of what Ted, his actions.
Yeah, and Ted is busy.
But spoiler alert,
a
conversation is coming up.
With who?
The two of them, Ted and Carlton.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to respect. I'm going to pre-respect Carlton. I'm gonna pre-respect.
Have they didn't get lit? They didn't fuck yet, right?
No,
Okay.
we would have known. Have you
Okay.
seen Nicole? We have never seen her made love to on the show.
Wait, there were no sex scenes between her and Ted.
Not, it may have. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. And it would probably be the old Ted, if anything.
It had to have been, because
shout
by
out to
the
the old
that
Ted.
was
the new.
in all honesty, though, as much as we hated the fact that they switched characters, if they had to do it, that made sense.
Yeah.
Where it was like, okay, you fucked up, and now switch in, and now we see this Ted looking pitiful, because it would have been hard to see old Ted. Shout out to Maurice Johnson, did a great job. It's hard to imagine him trying to plead for Nicole back.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah, it's just different now.
And playing daddy to Eva, but Keith is great.
Yeah, he is great. So you mentioned Eva. Let's talk about her real quick. Her and Izaiah have been having a lot of conversations, and I just hate that she's just laying it on so thick that she's just like, so needy. I'm so damaged. My dad didn't want me, and I don't know if you really want me. And like, first of all, play it cool. Like, you are just starting to date this man. Like, you don't want him to see like that whole like, oh my god. Like, mind you, he's giving you everything that you could want in this early stage of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't given you a reason to doubt him whatsoever. And every chance you get, you're telling him like, I've been hurt. I don't love myself. I haven't done, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's like a downer to me. Like, girl. But then there are men, and I'm sure a lot of women that can relate to this, that like that. They like that. They have like that save a hole complex where they like damaged girls like that, where it's like, oh, don't worry, like, I'll be your everything. And I don't know. I just feel like Eva could play it a little bit more cool, you know?
I 1000% agree. And here's why. This goes back to the fact we've been saying for the past 3 months. Eva needs friends.
She needs peers. She needs women her age that can really give her the real.
And you know, our first introduction was seeing her and her mom show up to Ashley's job. Why don't her and Ashley have some sort of bond? Like, she needs, because like
maybe Ashley's a little older.
Okay, but
that's what I don't know.
You know, because I think when I'm sitting here looking at this, and I'm like, somebody needs to tell her, like, girl, you overcame enough of that. You know, you ever talk to somebody who like had a rough upbringing, but then they overcame all that and so it became affluent, right? I'm gonna say rich. And then you sit back, but you see them always talking about, man, back in my day, this, that, and it was like,
exactly.
But you got a house with a two-door garage, two-car garage.
Did pretty good for yourself.
I think you're doing good for yourself.
I think what it is, like, as you were talking, is when you were saying like she needs friends. She's expressing her relationship anxieties to the man that she's trying to be in a relationship with.
Bingo.
And what she should be doing is expressing that to her girlfriends, and then them giving her having constructive conversations about it, and then her meeting up with this man and being able to kind of be herself. You know what I'm saying?
But he's a counselor,
because
so
also at vinegar, but also like because also men can also eventually take advantage of those vulnerabilities. So that's why anytime we watch our scenes, I'm always like, girl, hold it together, like hold it down, like what are we doing here?
Izaiah seemed like that type that would.
He could eventually, yeah.
He was the bad boy for a reason.
And I can see him, I mean, maybe not, but I can see him love bombing, and like I can see him getting bored with Eva, especially if he was like, I can't commit to you because I don't believe that you like me, huh?
The other girl, Veronica, I think that's her
name. The girlfriend that was like, stay over there.
What if she see him and then all of a sudden,
right? Exactly. Who knows? So let's talk about boyfriends real quick. So we got Tomas, who we mentioned already, and you know, and he's trying his best to be there for Kat. And you know, Kat, high strung, like we talked about, she's not an easy person to support. So I do like the scene of Jacob and Andre in the country club, and it seemed like that was like the episode of like all of the supportive partners kind of vented. It was like, okay, boom, everybody's having a conversation of like, okay, my girl, you know, how do we support the Dupree in this situation? And it's nice to have someone to talk to in that way. And Tomas is trying, and he was there to support Kat, so you know, I'll give it up to him. Then you got Jacob, who, you know, wants Naomi to go seed therapy, and you know how he is. What did he say? And I was just like, nobody talks like that. It's like, am I the only one that finds Jacob to be so like he speaks like he's reading from a motivational handbook at all times. Like he always like hits with the cliches, like, you know, I of course one is not coming to my head, but it's like, no one talks like that, bro. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's funny because on Twitter, people were saying that they feel like Naomi is bad and she doesn't respect him and she's too hard on him.
See,
he deserves better.
I'm an alpha woman that comes from a family of alpha women, so like I would never think that way. Like I'm just like, I don't know.
The crazy thing, this is like ladies was tweeting this, and I thought it was like, I was like, wait, what? Because I've been like watching this show the whole time. I never took it that Naomi was trying to disrespect him. What I always felt was that he pours it on too thick, acts too righteous sometimes, and then Naomi's just like, dude, get out of my way. Like, I feel like sometimes he don't understand, okay, there's a space. And that's hard. As a man, our automatic thing is to fix.
Right.
When you love someone, you see your loved one crying, fix it. Whether it's wife, daughter, mother, sister. You see them, best friend, you see them hurt. Okay, where do I fix it? What can I do? And he does that, but he goes overboard. It's like, dog, y'all been married too long. You should know her pressure points, her trigger points. Like when she said, you know, I just want to take care of Grant. And he said, are you okay? You sure you want to do that? You know, I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, think financially, not emotionally,
right?
But sometimes the way he comes off, it's his approach.
It's his approach, and he's a good guy. He means well, so I mean, we're not gonna trash him too much. Supportive partners, we have Madison, who's a doctor, so I think that's probably something else that helped Chelsea kind of wrap her head around things more too. Like, you know, her girlfriend is a freaking brain surgeon, right? A neurologist. Like yeah. So, you know, she could talk to a medical professional about that and kind of like feel, you know, more at ease and have more like a reasonable approach to this terrifying situation. You know, let's talk about the youngins real quick. Okay. This was very interesting. So Terrell and his girlfriend Jessica. So, you know, they live in a gated community, high society. They bring up the Jack and Jill organization, which is like a black, like, you know, societal, you know, I know here in Jersey it was big, where it's like you would, you know, go to cotillion and, you know, all that kind of stuff that they talk about. We're in a high society. So I just knew people that were like a part of it, you know.
So you said you got broke friends.
No, but like I remember people saying like they were, you know, like meeting people in college and they were like, oh, I'm a part of this or whatever. So they go through all of these things, and Jessica, who, you know, grew up but beyond the gates, and, you know, she's over it. You know, she didn't go to Winterfest, and, you know, she didn't really care about any of that stuff, but it's easy for her to say that because she grew up in it. Like, you have the privilege of saying, I don't want to do this, but then you have people like Eva that's like, oh my God, I would have given anything to be a part of this tradition. And it's very realistic because Jessica and Terrell's generation are the ones that question everything. They question every tradition. It's like, you know, they bear it down to the history and like, why are we doing this? And like all that kind of stuff.
Have Christmas. Did right. Jesus really get laid in the manger?
So I respect, you know, her position on that. But I think it should be a matter of choice. Like, okay, Jessica, that's not, you don't agree with this anymore, you're not participating in it, that's fine. But I don't think that should, you know, be like, okay, let's abolish this or judge Samantha for wanting to be a part of it. And then you got Terrell, who I don't know, Martin was like, got his nose wide open because he was challenging his grandmother, the family, and like, no, I don't agree with this. And I also thought it was extra because it's like, nobody's asked, like, you're not a part of it. Like, it's Samantha, like, why you have such a strong opinion on it? But his girlfriend does, and he's a young teenager, you know what I'm saying? So how did you feel watching these scenes? Like, young love at its finest.
It's so interesting watching Terrell deal with this right now because they're seniors in high school and he's trying to figure out his life. And honestly, he's in that chase mode.
Yeah.
He
doesn't want her to move away. Because she wants to move away from the societal shit.
Yeah.
And like across the country, of course. And he doesn't want his girlfriend to move across the country.
Exactly.
So anything he could grasp on, he's going to do it.
Mm-hmm. And so he's too busy trying to impress, right? And usually what happens in these situations, there's the father who says, boy, this is just your first one. There's going to be other fish in the sea. There's going to be other one. And the son is rejected. I don't want to think about nobody else. I just want her. I don't want to be like the other guys who just sleep with this one and that one and that one and that one. I want to be her. She's my one. And then there's the mother who's like, oh, that's so sweet. My boy, he just wants to be just with the one. He's not going to be like the other guys. He's going to be a good one. Mm-hmm. So it's all of these dynamics. But what I did see, like, what was interesting watching Nicole, like, no, let him talk.
Yes.
Because
let him express
himself, right? Because I started thinking, I was like, I wonder if Martin and Kat had those same opportunities. Because remember, grandmothers are more lenient
with their grandchildren.
Yeah. So it made you think like,
yeah.
And I was wondering, trying to watch Martin's Lane was like, wait, I ain't get to say all that, but he didn't. But overall, yeah, Terrell's knows.
It's understandable.
What did we say before? He needs a relationship with a teenager or a young adult, somebody older, right? Like it's always like I'm just a big proponent of you gotta have relationships with older cousins and siblings who have been there more recently. There has to be a medium ground between parents, aunts, and uncles and you. There has to be somewhere. I have my god brothers, so I could go to them. He don't have nobody. That's why he needs that relationship with Izaiah, which we kind of saw brewing when they were all in, a makeshift not double date. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. I want to see that develop.
Right. Same. And I think he'll end up supporting Samantha in this. And I love that Samantha's excited about this. And I love that she'll be able to share it, share it with her.
You know that, right?
I know, because she's, she's going to want to,
She's strong. And she's not going to let him stop her from going across country.
And there's such different people. Like Terrell, you have to remember, like, Terrell and Samantha are adopted. And they came from a very different life than what they now have. And they have to still sort of process that of like, okay, where do they fit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a good point.
Where do they fit? And Terrell made a good point. Like, if I wasn't adopted by this family, the people that go to these events would have been looking down on me and my mom, and because they would have probably been living under the bridge with her. Sorry, I had to throw that out there. But I mean, he's making great points, and if Terrell wants to navigate his life differently than how Samantha does, if Samantha wants to take full advantage of being born in the world that she's born in, girl, it's like, girl, do your thing, and I'm excited to see how that all plays out. And then also memories for her grandmother. Yeah. And I think that's what Nicole wants, like, something like that. So we're talking about Martin. So Martin is still, in the throes of his election. Him and Vernon are having a lot of conversations, and Vernon does kind of put a little teaser out there that he might want to run alongside Martin. And I don't know if he meant it, but I mean, I could see that being a little curveball, like Vernon being like, life is so short, why not, or something like that. But it is interesting to see like where all of this
I want to see that. I would love to see. That's like a different spin, a different legacy type.
Yeah.
And I think that would be really cool to see, Vernon and Martin. I know like everything Anita's going through is going to be tough, but I think when Anita beats this, it would be great to see. It'd be a great victory lap for the family.
Absolutely. One thing Vernon, speaking of him, has been kind of worried about and even spoke to both Dani and Andre about it, was making sure Dani didn't get too close to Bill during all of this family drama. And it's something about that's like, why are we talking so much about her ex-husband? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think think that Dani knows better, but I feel like y'all pressing it can maybe put something, where it's just like, if nobody was thinking about that, like, why you put it out there? But there are times where I'm just like, Dani, you don't need Bill. Like, you say, oh, the girls, but they grown. Like, he can support the girls without you. Like, you don't have to, call, like, you know what I'm trying to say?
It's the thing. It's a comfort thing. And you got to remember, look, Naomi's probably 28 to 35 age range. So for that many years, it's been Bill. You know what I mean? So between that and it's like they're cool again. They've been so used to taking care of the girls themselves.
Right.
So I can understand why it's habitual, but I also understand where Vernon is coming from. Like, because he's seen Dani go through this Bill slippery slope these years.
And how close they got during Chelsea's kidnapping.
When he was cheating on her, how many times she took him back. So Vernon's like, put a pause to that right now. And he's essentially challenging Andre. Step up,
right?
Be the husband to keep her away,
right? I agree, but I also, in Andre's defense, don't think he needed a reminder to take care of Dani.
That's the thing,
like
right
I feel like he's been taking care of Dani for the past year, and we talk about it all the time because we were laughing about Dani's coping mechanisms because we were so proud of how she's dealing with this cancer thing. Because back in the day, she would have grabbed that bottle and would have been a hot ass mess. And we talked about how Andre has been taken care of and has said to Bill, don't worry, like I got her best interest at heart. I'm taking care of her. So I was kind of disappointed in Vernon feeling like he needed to say that. And I am glad that Andre was like, you know what, fuck it. I'll take that extra step, that extra mile to make sure my woman's taken care of. And he's doing a very good job at it. But one interesting conversation was Ted being like, nah, nigga, like, remind him who Dani's husband is. Period.
I think that's the thing though, but see, because Andre he was doing all that stuff in secret for so long. So they don't know the Andre that was going over there, taking the bottle out of her hand and just holding her when she needed it. So he
was a friend. Yeah. He definitely was a friend. But I, been liking Andre's outfits more than normal.
He's still wearing that chain.
Yeah, he can't get rid of
it's got to come out. My daddy got me this chain.
Right. So one tidbit of information that I thought was interesting was it sounds like Joey makes cooking content. I don't know if it's on his social on the website, but Andre says something about making a pasta that he got from Joey's website. And I just find that so interesting because I don't know, Joey's one of my favorite characters. Oh, yeah. And I love that he's like this well-rounded character because he loves to cook. He shut down that restaurant for Vanessa. He cooked for her. And I like when older people are like, I'm going to use the internet for like my hobbies. And he puts his cooking stuff on there. I hope they dive deeper into that because I like those little
Remember, he
tidbits.
Did cook for Vanessa for Thanksgiving. So I think I could see him doing that. I love that. Valentine's Day.
I want to hear more because it just makes him feel like more like real people. Like I want to hear more of those like little hobbies that people have. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So we do find out that Dani, unfortunately, is positive for the BRCA2 gene. Nicole tested negative, so Kat is in the clear. So is Martin. But now we have Dani, Naomi, and Chelsea now having to deal with this now. It's not a death sentence, of course, but now that means that the two girls are going to have to get tested, and it's not the end of the world, but I am glad that they got tested. Vernon was with Anita for her first treatment, being the supportive husband that he always was. I can't believe y'all thought that man would cheat on that woman.
Right.
In any way, but he hasn't told Anita yet. He wants to wait. But how sad was that to hear, one, because there was always a chance that one may have it and one did, and blah blah blah. But do you think Dani's gonna get through this? How do you feel about
Yeah, I think she'll get through it. It's tough. And, you know, you could see the love that her and Nicole have for each other because when the siblings like in that situation, Nicole would have wanted to take that instead of Dani. And Dani would have like, no, I would rather have it instead of you. And she said like, you know, and she had that saying like we all do. And sometimes like, okay, God won't give you more than you can handle. Apparently he thinks I can handle a lot or he knows I can handle a lot.
Right.
So I understood where she was coming from. But, you know, I'm with you that I do want to see the show stay spicy, and I want to kind of lean less into this where the breast cancer, we got the awareness out there. It'll be sort of like a back thought that will, you know.
Or just like with Anita, because I think that was a thing where for the last 2 weeks, it's like that's what everyone was talking about. Every character in Fairmont Crest, from the fucking blue collar workers to, you know, the family members. It was like every conversation was about it. And I watch, and I would love to hear what our other gatekeepers think. Like, I watch this show to escape. You know, like I want the outlandish storylines to escape, and like Dani pulling a gun at the wedding. I want more of that. Because, and again, I appreciate that they are sharing this story though, because a lot of Black families go through it and don't have the education and don't have the resources and don't know a lot of the things that Beyond the Gates is educating people on. But like I have experience with this. Like I have experience, you know, my mom has gone through this a number of times. Like we had to think about getting, you know, so it's like, it's too real. It's hitting a little too close to home. So I'm hoping next week the cancer storyline sticks to like who has cancer and not every conversation that every character is having be about breast cancer. And let's get back to the messiness. And I think next week we definitely will be.
I mean, Bill says, I had enough of your poison.
Ooh.
So that's going to be interesting right there.
Can we talk about the coming attractions?
Mm-hmm.
Next week is definitely gonna get spicy. We got Leslie with a gun in her hand with Marcel talking about you're gonna have to watch out for me.
They in some freaky shit.
Imagine. I don't know if anyone's watched The Sopranos, but there is a couple that would like have sex with he would have a gun pointed to her head, and then while they were having sex. So who knows? Not a little spicy. Then you got Ashley getting spicy. First of all, she looks really good too. She want her shot at some cutie. I think the new character at the bar. Then we got Joey walking away from Leslie, like basically like I've gotten people killed for less. So we already see the tensions there. Next week is gonna be good.
The nerve of what he had to say, you know, it's like, bro, you don't. You know, but that lets you know Leslie pushed a button. So I'm interested to see what button she pressed. Obviously, Anita's ready to comfort Dani.
Yes.
You know, and Andre, you can see him trying to like kind of hold the house together, be the man of the house. But she ain't dressed yet. She's like,
because you know they be getting it in all the time.
Yeah, he like, should I put her in this?
Right? I seen them titties. I'm just kidding.
You know, but a mother always gonna be a mother. You know what I mean? Even like, no, mom was like, you know, in the crisis. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm
also
excited.
Bill saying, I don't want any more of your poison. What does he mean by that?
Let's unpack that real quick.
So I don't think he knows he's getting poisoned.
Okay.
I think he's just like, bitch, stop offering me tea all the damn time. Like, I'm over it. I'm not sickly anymore.
Yeah.
And using the word poison.
I think so too.
And I think we're going to see more from Haley. Also, I want to see more from that little the sketchy woman.
The friend.
Yeah, the
Where
friend.
She
yeah. So I think next week we're gonna get back into the messiness that we like from them gates.
We're gonna be back in the messiness. I can't wait.
Yes, I can't wait.
So final thoughts.
I'm ready to get back into the spiciness. And I am glad that we are seeing more layers of the characters.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate. And yeah, I can't wait.
Let's do it. Let's get it. This has been a fun episode.
It's been a fun episode, a fun recap. If you are not already, make sure you are subscribed to 6 Heart Media YouTube channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Leave those comments. We have a Facebook page. We're on Instagram. Keep the comments coming. Let's keep the conversation going. Season 2 is off to a good start.
Yeah, season 2 is hot. And remember, Brandon The guy who plays Martin. Promise a lot of spiciness and a whole lot of sex.
Ooh, I love that for us. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you for joining this episode of Loving Them Gates. For more Beyond the Gates content from 6 Heart Media, be sure to, 1, like and subscribe, but also check out the podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms, as well as the playlist right here. We do deep dives as well as weekly recaps.